Jananeem Sharadam Devi Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukaswarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Dear devotees, in the 17th and 18th verse, Tatpada discussion on the Tatpada has been done. Now, he will also discuss about the Tvam Padartha, and more than that, he makes a very interesting discussion about what is the root cause of our problems. Many times we think, in the layman's language, we say, oh, why did I take birth? Because I took birth, I'm leading life, have to face a lot of struggles, lot of difficulties, lot of challenges, hence all these problems. I should not have taken birth. Why this birth and death is there at all? This is the question, or this is the lament or comment we make. So the world or the birth and death, all these are problematic. That's how we keep on discussing, we keep on blaming or making comments, complaints. The author is trying to make us very clear here, the life is not a problem. Having a body and mind, again, is not a problem. Living in the world, living in this empirical world is also not problem. Only the problem lies is because of wrong understanding, because of prejudice, we are thinking that I am body and mind, or we are thinking the world is real. This is the only problem, the root of the problem for all our miseries. This is the root of all our miseries. Having body and mind, it is welcome. Living in the empirical world, it is also welcome. No problem. The problem is only thinking that they're all real and unable to distinct and differentiate between the Brahman and the world, the Atman and the body and the mind. This is what the root problem for all our miseries, which is called technically ignorance or avidya. Because of that, we are suffering and we are suffering and we are suffering. Now, how to end the suffering? Then the author says very clearly, remove the ignorance, destroy the ignorance. Well, how to remove the ignorance? How to destroy the ignorance? By knowledge alone. By knowledge means what? Knowledge of what? Knowledge of the self. Or here in the Drik Drishya Viveka work, the knowledge of the seer three, that is Sakshi or Chaitanya. Knowledge of Sakshi, knowledge of Chaitanya can remove the misunderstanding or the ignorance, which is also, he uses the word aviveka. We shall see. Now, avidya has been used at the individual level. When it comes at the cosmic level, they use the word Maya. And the Maya has got two powers. One is the power of projection, that is Vikshepa Shakti. The other is Avarna Shakti, that is the power of concealment, we have seen. Because of the power of projection, Brahman is appearing as the world that we have known. And because of the Avarna Shakti, because the power of concealment, we are unable to differentiate between the Brahman and the world. What is the nature of Brahman? We all know Sat Chit Ananda. And what is the nature of this world? This is what? Nama and Rupa. Nama Rupatmakam Jagat, we have heard already, which is nothing but the name and form. So that because of this power of concealment, we are unable to differentiate. We are unable to make a difference between the Brahman and this imaginary or the appearance world. And the author also makes very interesting point that there is no problem with the power of projection. Because of that, we are having body and mind, we are having this world and all our experience. Even for Gnani also, after Jivan Mukta, that is after the realization, this Vikshepa Shakti, the power of projection continues. till his death. But only the problem is the Avarna Shakti, the power of concealment. Because of this Avarna Shakti, I am unable to understand that it is a rope, not the snake. So what is this Maya Shakti and Avarna Shakti is beautifully explained in the 19th verse. Let us see. Atrapi Avruttinashena Vibhati Brahmasargayoho Beda Tayor Vikarasyat Sargena Brahmani Kvachit. In this case also, because he is referring to the 17th verse. 17th verse, because of this Avarna Shakti, we are thinking that we are body and mind. The moment you remove the Avarna Shakti, that we destroy the Avarna Shakti, that is ignorance, then I'll be able to know that I am the self, I am the seer 3, not the seer 2, 1. So referring to that, he is telling, in this case also, the distinction between the Brahman and the phenomenal universe becomes clear with the disappearance of the veiling power of Maya, that is Avarna Shakti. Therefore, change is perceived in the phenomenal universe, but never in Brahman. Now, the problem is not with the Vikshepa Shakti, as already told. Power of projection, there is no problem. But only the problem is with the Avarna Shakti, which is power of covering or power of concealment. Now, because of this Avarna Shakti, we are not able to differentiate between Atman and Atma, Anatma, self and not self. That is with the self and the body and mind. Then similarly, Brahman and the world, we are not able to distinguish. Just like the rope and the snake. There is no problem with the rope, but rope is appearing as snake because of our ignorance. And as a result, we have got fear and we shouted, our BP got increased, all these things. The moment that ignorance has been removed, snake ignorance, then when I understand that that is a rope, not the snake, then there is no problem at all. So here also, the author is trying to tell that, try to understand that it is a rope, not the snake. Now, whatever you are saying that the entity, the eternal entity, that eternality belongs to the self, belongs to the Brahman, not to this world or not to the body and mind. Now, so, and the subtle point is, this ignorance is being discussed at 2 levels. One is at the individual level or at the subject level. The second is at the universal level and object level. At the subject level, at the individual level, the discrimination between the witness, Sakshi, that is seer 3, and between the body-mind complex, that is seer number 2 and seer number 1. I am seer 3. I am never the seer 2, never the seer 1. I am Sakshi. I am Chaitanya always. I am never the body and mind. But unfortunately, I am thinking that I am body, I am mind. Simple fun example. I am not well. I've got a fever and I am morose. Why? Fever is for body and mind. But I am thinking that as if fever has come to me and I am suffering, and as a result, I am morose. Why are you not okay? My mood is not good. Why? I don't know. My mind is not good. Okay, my mood is not good. I am not feeling okay. My mind is not okay. But why should I feel unhappy about it? It is an instrument, isn't it? So, but unfortunately, we are unable to discriminate. We are unable to differentiate between this body and mind and myself. We are so much confused. We are mixed up and we are struggling and we are suffering. That has to be done. This is called Tvam Pada Viveka, which has been, we already seen in the 17th verse. We have to keep on discriminating that between body and mind and self. The same thing we can see in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. Once, Sri Ramakrishna, when he had a throat cancer, he was lying on the bed. He was unable to take any food, but still he was happy. Once he made a comment with his disciple that, look, I'm suffering. Then his disciple, he had studied Vedanta. He was a Vedantin, Swami Turyananji. He said, sir, when you said that I am suffering, who is that suffering? You or your body and mind? Sri Ramakrishna laughed and he said, laughingly, oh, this rascal has found out the truth. So Sri Ramakrishna's body was suffering, but Sri Ramakrishna never suffered. That's why he never had any complaints. He never cried. He never morose. He was never sad that he got a throat cancer, is unable to take the food, unable to talk, and he has become weak. And he had become so weak, even he was unable to get up from the bed. Sometimes even just to turn from one side to other, he needed help. He needed assistance. Even at that juncture, he was happy. His face was shining with the bliss. Why? Because he was the Brahmagnani. He was the knower of the self. His body was suffering from the cancer, but he was not suffering from the cancer. This is what happens. The same thing we can see in the Ramana Maharshi's life also. When Ramana was sitting in that cave, and he sat for I think 12 to 14 years in meditation, in contemplation, self-contemplation. There was a lack of sunlight and the dampness was there, and slowly, the body was rotten. Some portion of the body was rotten, and some, worms and all these things had started developed. And some people, without knowing, some children, the youngsters or adolescent people, without knowing that, threw stones and all. He was bleeding, but he was happy. He was enjoying the bliss because he never had the notion that I am body and mind. His body was probably had suffering because of the bleeding and because of that in some infections on the body and all, but he was happy. See, once if you hold on to the truth that I am the self, not the body and mind, whatever may come and go, you will not disturb. You are not disturbed, you will not be disturbed. Nothing can be disturbed. Because we allow disturbance, that's why we are disturbed. We are disturbed by husband, we are disturbed by wife, we are disturbed by children, we are disturbed by office. So we all keep on saying that, we keep on complaining that. Until otherwise we allow the disturbance, we allow inside our mind, we cannot get disturbed. Why we are allowing the disturbance? Because we are thinking that either this body and mind or this empirical world is real. Satyatva Buddhi, I keep on saying that. The Satyatva Buddhi has to be changed, shifted from the body and mind to the self, or from the world to the Brahman, to the self. That is what all our attempt. Now, this, and also the ignorance, the sorting out between the real and unreal also has to be done at the object level or at the universe level. What does it mean? That's what the author is trying to tell here. Now, whatever you are seeing this world, this empirical world, what it is, if you remember my, I think, Tattvabodha classes, if you remember, we know that this world is made up of Panchabhutas, 5 gross elements. And that 5 gross elements is made up of Pancha Tanmatras, 5 subtle elements. And 5 subtle elements came from Maya plus Brahman. Brahman plus Maya is 5 Tanmatras, Panchabhutas, 5 elements. From that, the permutation and combination of the 5 elements is nothing but the universe. So what constitutes the universe? 5 elements. What constitutes, again, if you ask, then you will say Pancha Tanmatras, 5 subtle elements. How did it come? How did it came, if you ask? Then it is because of Brahman plus Maya. That means Brahman plus Maya is equal to word. So what is this Brahman? Sat Chita Ananda, or Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma, or Asti Bhati Priyam, which will be taken in the next verse, plus Maya. So here Maya technically is knowing as Nama and Rupa, name and form. We are seeing continuous change. That continuous change is where? It is in this empirical world. But this change is not in the Brahman. But we are unable to understand that. The change is in this empirical world. The change is not in the self. The change is not in the consciousness. That's the one mistake we are not able to understand. The second point is that we think that I am eternal. I'm eternally living. Though I know that I have got date of manufacture and date of expiry. That is date of birth and date of death. But we will be living as if we are living eternally. And not only that, this world is real for us. The world is eternal for us. That reality The eternality, that quality or the nature, whatever you say, that is borrowed from the self actually, from the Brahman. So we are superimposing the nature, the quality or the nature of this Brahman on the world, and the nature of the world superimposing on the Brahman. So dharma dharmi adhyasa, we say in the technical in Advaita Vedanta, two mistakes we are doing. The nature of Brahman is superimposed on the world, and the nature of the world is superimposed on the Brahman. So two mistakes we are doing, and by that, so we are thinking this world is real and we are always struggling. So that has to be removed. Now, how to understand this? For an example, you went to a hall, you went to friend's hall, into their house, then they took to their drawing room. The drawing room is well furnitured and well placed. You were so happy. There you saw a big screen, TV screen, beautiful, sofa set, teakwood furnitures, table, chair, desk, beautiful vases you saw, people, some of your friends and the house owner you saw. Then maybe some things were there on the table, mobiles you saw. So many things you are seeing in the drawing room. And you were amazed to see that so many furnitures and well-placed things and well-decorated room. Very wonderful. You were enjoying it. Among that friends group, there was one guy who was a bit Vedantin, hardcore Vedantin philosopher, and he was just sitting and he was just observing. Then someone of you poked, "Oh, my dear philosopher, what are you gazing at? What are you looking at? Are you not able to enjoy the things here? Instead of that, are you discriminating?" Then the Vedantin said, "Oh, beautiful question yours. I was looking into the light, how wonderful the light is. Because of that, I'm able to see so many things. Of course, we are all able to see so many things, so many furnitures and other things which are placed in this drawing room." All of a sudden, everyone started thinking, "What? Where is the light? There is no light on. How can you say that? There is a light or whatever." Then that Vedantin, your friend Vedantin, laughs and says that, "Oh, my dear, sunlight has come inside this drawing room, isn't it?" "Yes, of course, through windows. Because of the sunlight alone, you are able to see all of them. You are able to see me, I'm able to see you, and we are able to see furnitures, we are able to see different items. Because of that one sunlight, we are able to see all these things. And we have forgotten about sunlight, and we are obsessed. We are carried over by all these items, all these objects, isn't it?" When he said, everyone started thinking, "Yes, true. We didn't recognize. It is not that we are not aware. We are aware of it, no doubt. Unconsciously we are aware of it, no doubt. But consciously we are not aware of it. Because of the light only, we are able to see so many things in the room. That light is that aware. Because of that light only, we are aware of all these things. So because of the self, because of that Brahman alone, we are able to see so many things, but we are unable to recognize it. Unfortunately, we are not recognizing it, and we are trying to recognize only things. That is Namarupatmaka Jagat. So by doing all this discrimination, the author is asking us to try to shift your focus from this Namarupatmaka Jagat to Brahman, the self. Just like in that example, shift your focus from the furnitures or from the objects to the light, which is all over and which we have not recognized, which we are not aware of it. Unconsciously we are aware, but consciously we are not aware. So shift your focus from things to the light. So similarly, from these worldly objects or world or objects, you shift from your focus from the objects to the self, by which all things are getting appearing. And for an example, the world is existing, city is existing, my birthplace is existing, my house is existing, then my car is existing, our car exists, our car is existing, my bike is existing. Like that, we keep on saying that, isn't it? This existing is existing. This is what Sat, which is called Brahman. And there are so many things. There are so many things are existing, but that existence-ness itself is that Brahman. So shift your focus from the Namarupatmaka Jagat to the Brahman, by which, that is a substratum, the whole world is appearing on that, or the Brahman has been projected as this universe. So shift your focus from the objects to the self, from the Namarupatmaka Jagat to the Brahman. That's what the author is trying to discuss or trying to convey for us in the 19th verse. Now, in the 17th verse, he discussed Tat. And in the 17th and 19th verse, he discussed Tat and Tvam. Now, Tat Tvam Asi. There's an identity between Tat and Tvam. There's an identity between that and thou, isn't it? So the identity between thou and that is been showed in the 20th verse. And this part of the verse is often quoted in the Vedantic discussions. Asti bhati priyam rupam nama cheti amsha panchakam adyatrayam brahma rupam jagad rupam tatodvayam. Every entity has got 5 characteristics. What is this? Asti, existence; bhati, cognizability; priyam, attractiveness or dearness; then namam, name; rupam, and form. Of these, the first 3 belongs to Asti, Bhati, Priyam. The 3 belongs to Brahman, and the next 2, Nama and Rupa, these 2 belongs to the world. Now, Asti, Bhati, Priyam, something, it is a new technical word for all of us. So it is just synonym just for Satyam, Gnanam, Anantam or Satchidananda. We all know Satchidananda, we have heard all several times. Sat means existence, Chit means awareness or consciousness, Ananda means bliss. Though sometimes we say happy, but the right translation will be bliss. The same has been told in a different way in Taittiriya Upanishad. Satyam, Gnanam, Anantam. Satyam, truth; Gnanam, knowledge or consciousness or awareness; then Anantam, infinity. Again, it is nothing but Satchidananda. The same thing has been told in a different words. Asti, Bhati, Priyam. Asti, existence; Bhati means it is a knowledge or awareness or whatever. Again, it is a consciousness or chit only. Then Priyam is what? Dearness. It is also it is a symbological representation of Ananda or blissful form. Now, this is what the nature, or these 3 are the nature of the Brahman, the self, consciousness, we all know that. And this Nama and Rupa, name and form, these 2 belongs to the empirical world. Now, living in the world, our body is not the problem or cause for unhappiness, but ignorance about oneself or ignorance about the true nature of the world is what the cause of ignorance. Now, this is the ignorance and this is the root cause of our problem. Then how to remove the ignorance? They say discriminate between the Brahman and the Jagat. Separate the Brahman and Jagat in layman's language. Now, okay, 2 things are, 2 things are joined here. So we ask, oh, I am not able to eat. Then you say, Swami, you separate your 2 hands, then you will be able to eat. So there is a physical separation between the 2 hands. Or for an example, I am holding something. Now, if I have to separate it, then I have to leave it. So there is a physical separation. So now I have to separate the Brahman from the world, or the world from the Brahman. When I say that, so should we or can we do the physical separation? If so, how to do the physical separation? The Vedanta says that no, there is no physical separation, you have to do it, and it is not possible also. Then what should we do? What should we separate? Then what are you going to speak about it? What were you talking about all this time? The Vedantin says that we have to do mental separation, cognitive separation, intellectual separation. In the mind, we have to differentiate between the Brahman and the world, empirical world. So it is an intellectual separation. So like objects we separate, we cannot separate the Brahman and the world. Now, how to separate it? The Brahman is what? Asti, existence, bhati. Then it is a cognition or the knowledge or awareness. Priyam is dearness, isn't it? What about this world? It is Namarupatmaka. So at the only subjective level, intellectual level, we can separate. How to separate? This we will try to understand. So what is this asti? What is this existence? This existence is referred to or can be understood like is, am, are. I am there. You are there. He is there. She is there. It is there. World is there. So is there, is, am, there. So this is what that existence. So this existence is the substratum for all the things for its existence, but that is the Brahman, so that you have to hold on to it. Now, for an example, I will give an example, then you'll be able to understand. There are 5 types of dolls. One is pigeon, the other is parrot, the other is elephant, the one more is dog, the other is a tree. 5 dolls are there. Beautifully, everything is looking after, everything so beautifully it looks. But all 5 dolls are made up of sugar. The moment you remove the sugar, then what happens? All the dolls ceases to exist. So the existence of these 5 dolls depends on, belongs to the sugar, not to the dolls in entirety, in reality, isn't it? The moment I remove the sugar, then all the 5 dolls ceases to exist. The existence belongs to sugar, not to the dolls. Just like sea, ocean, and the waves. Beautiful waves, fine. Waves has got only name and form. The existence of the waves depends on the water, the ocean water. The ocean water and waves cannot be separated. So the existence of the ocean and the waves belongs to water, not for otherwise nothing else. If you remove the water, then ocean ceases to exist, the wave ceases to exist. So the moment existence, if you remove it, then the whole world ceases to exist. Now, the word of caution is, when we give all these examples, we are giving the examples of the objects. So when we say that, okay, similarly, we should think with the existence, Sat also, we should not think that it is also an object. It is also a subtle object. No, it is never the object. It is the only subject. So it is the only concept. At least at this given point of time, we have to understand. So Sat or Brahman is not the object. The moment, because we always keep on thinking with the respect to object, Brahman means, okay, maybe it may be like a light, it may be like a fire, it may be like a blue sky, or something which we can't imagine. So something is there like an object, we keep on thinking. It is never the object. It is not at all the object that you have to understand. So this is what regarding the Asti. And one may get a question, if you are thinking seriously, you will get this question. I know that it should come. If you have come, any one of you, I'm very happy. When I say that, okay, things are not existing. For an example, I ask, does ball exist? Does ball is there in your room? Then you say, no, Swamiji, there is no ball here. So there is a non-existence of a ball. We are aware of it. We are experience of it. That means the non-existence of a ball, when we say that, that means there is no existence, there is no Sat. Then can be sometimes in some place, can be there where there is no Brahman, because there is no Sat, there is no existence. If you ask technically, no. Why? Because the ball may not be there, but there is something else, maybe air or maybe space or ether or whatever. So that is the reason. We cannot say that nothing exists. Like it is just like tautology. I don't exist. I can't think actually. We keep on speaking like that, but it is not really possible. Then bhati, awareness, existence. See, how do I know that there is an house? Because how do I know that? Because I'm experiencing it. That's why I know that there is a house in on such and such a street. For example, I know someone is there. I know my mother is in my house. I know my father is in my house. Why? Because I'm experiencing their presence. How? I spoke with them in the phone. or I am myself in the house, I'm able to see them. I'm able to perceive my this sense organs, the eyes, their presence. That's why I know that I am aware of their existence. So knowing means it is experience. I'm experiencing so many things, isn't it? And I'm able to know many things, know that. So the substratum of the knowing and the experience, all things are belongs to this bhati or belongs to the chit. So knowing, I am aware, I'm experiencing, I am knowing, I know this, I know that, I have knowledge about it. All these things we keep on telling that. So this knowing and experiencing is nothing but synonyms, and this is because of the chit. For example, now Chandrayana third has been mission. So we're just some time is left over, and it is going and landing on the moon, and it will send it is sending the different photographs, and we are seeing that, we are having the knowledge of it. All these things we know that, we keep on talking all that. That knowing, whatever is there, the consciousness is the nature of that. The knowing itself is the nature of the consciousness. But we think that that is because of the senses, because of the mind, and the, no, they are the instruments. The knowing itself, because of the Atman or because of the Brahman, that is what Chit. Now Ananda or Priyam here, dear. Now everything is associated with the dearness actually. For an example, I like ice cream. I like ice cream. So if I see ice cream, I am very happy. And when I get it and when I'm able to eat, I am much more happy. Fine. Then sometimes you say, oh my dear, why did he come? Oh my God, when will he go? If he goes, I'll be very happy. So I will be happy because of his absence, and I will be happy because of someone's presence. So either because of someone's presence, I'm happy, because of someone's absence is happy, but happy is the root cause for all these things. This is what dear. Why I would like to be excel in my studies? Because I'll be happy. People like it, people praise me, and I will get a good job. All these things, I may get good money, I may get social security, I may get name and fame, power and position. All we may give so many analysis, all these things. But the root is what? I will be happy. I will get money so that I am thinking that I'll be happy. Because of that, I go to good courses. Because of that, I will get a good position. So I'll get a good power. Because power can give me happiness. That's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm studying well. And when I become a manager, I'm very happy. Why? Because of the power. One is that I get a good scale, that is a salary. And because of the power, I am happy. It gives me social, what do you say, good name, social recognition in the society. So I'm happy. So whatever I'm desiring for, if you see, the base is what? The happiness. The bliss, the form of bliss is that happiness which we are seeing in everything. And sometimes few things if you don't have, then you are happy. Whether you have, because of that you are happy, because you don't have something, that's why you are happy. But the root is what? Happy, dear, Priyam. So now if you see in our whole transactions, in acquiring things, achieving things, and in getting things and holding things, whatever you are saying, that behind this, either Asti, Bhati, Priyam is there in all these things, but we are not aware of it only. So this Asti, Bhati, Priyam or Sat Chit Ananda, it belongs to Brahman or the Atman. So that you have to understand. The Nama Rupa, what about this world? So the Brahman plus Maya is equal to world. That Maya is being described here. One way of understanding is what? The Vikshepa Shakti and Avarna Shakti. The world is Brahman plus Nama Rupa, name and form. What is this Nama and Rupa? World is nothing but the name and form, which are two variable factors. For example, water is there. Okay. So water has got, there is no color actually, there is no form, but still we are able to see, perceive. So we have named it as a water. Now because of sunlight, because of scorching sunlight, 45 degree, 50 degree, water is getting vaporized. With special camera, we're able to see water is getting vaporized. Now the water and the water vapor form, there is a change. Because there is a change in form, there is a different name which is called water vapor. Now it formed the clouds. The water vapor went to on the sky and they formed the clouds. Again, different shape, different name. And when it is falling on this earth ground, again in the form of rain, in the form of water droplets, again different name, different form. Okay, the water has been it has fallen on the ground, it went to the drainage or through rivers and it went to the sea, and because of the particular place, because of the cold, heavy cold, or -4, -10, -20, the water has been condensed in the form of ice. Water has been solidified and it has formed as ice. You see, oh, beautiful, so beautiful ice in the ocean, you see. The content in the water, water vapor, clouds, and the ice are among this. The content is same, but because of different forms, we have given different names. Transactional reality, all these things. So sometimes it is called water vapor, sometimes it's called cloud, sometimes it's called rain or water droplets, and sometimes it is called ice. Different forms, different names. So these are continuously varying and it is changing. So they have got varieties actually. Varieties of forms, varieties of names, that's all fine. But they're constantly changing, they're constantly changing from one form to another. Solid to liquid, liquid to gas, gas to liquid or solid or whatever. But these are continuously changing and evolving, that's fine. But that is not reality. The reality is what? The Sat Chit Ananda or Asti Bhati Priyam. That is what you have to understand. The moment when you understand the reality, holding on to reality, then you'll be able to discriminate between the self, the Atman, and the body and mind at the individual level, at the subject level or subjective level, at the universal level, or at the object level, that is the Brahman and the Namarupatmaka Jagat. When you're able to differentiate, hold on to the truth, and leave the appearance, then what will happen? You will be able to live the life of happiness. Just like hold on to the rope and leave the snake. The moment when you remove the snake, the snake has been removed, then what happens? You will be happy. I think Sri Ramakrishna's beautiful example can be one of the best example here. I think if you remember the story which I had already told, once a farmer, he had a beautiful family, he had a wonderful wife and a son. The son studied well, he finished his graduation and he got a good campus recruitment. He was earning a good salary. So parents were all happy and he was working in the farm and son was working in the city in a reputed company. Once for a holidays he came, both father and mother were happy. That night, mother had prepared sweet dishes and many other special dishes. All of them had a good food, hearty laugh, and they slept. Next day morning, early morning, the father got up, the farmer, because he got up, he went to the farm, land for farming work. The fellow, the young chap, didn't get up. Mother thought maybe he's tired, let him take rest. 6, 7 over, 8 over, 9 over, 10 over, he is not getting up. Mother called, no answer. She went and she called him, no answer. When she went and shook his body, no answer. Not only that, his body has become absolutely cold. He was shocked. That means his son is no more. We don't know why he died. He's died, he's no more. Then it was a rude shocker. Obviously, any mother, what will be the reaction we know? She started crying and she started calling people because it's a village. Immediately neighbors came. They all saw, they also felt bad. Then they brought the dead body outside. They put the mat and he was made like down the village. The news was spread like a wildfire. People started coming, everyone feeling bad. Some of them went to call the farmer. Farmer came back. He saw the dead body of the son. Automatically, obviously, everyone expects that he will also cry. But he was standing simply, whereas mother is crying very bitterly. Even some of the relatives, some of the friends and known people also feeling bad or crying. Such a young boy, such a good boy, he passed away. How cruel the fate is, our God. But that father immediately was keeping quiet. Why people were amazed. Then the lady started shouting, what type of person you are? What a stone-hearted person you are. You have got only one son And that Sachi was such a good boy, he was such a good son, obedient son, and is no more, and no tears are rolling down on your cheeks. What a person you are, what type of person you are. Then he said, look, yesterday night I had a dream. I was a king and you were a queen. We had 7 daughters and 7 sons. We had a lot of property and a lot of riches, all these things. I was enjoying the dream. But because sunrise happened and I heard the cock sound, then my dream broke and I got up back to pavilion. I am and I and you only one son. Now my only one son has been died, but now I am unable to understand. I lost my 7 daughters and 7 sons in the dream. Should I cry for them or should I cry for this guy where I have lost only one son? People were astonished. People were unable to answer. That's where the story ends. We say, oh, that was a dream only. Why do you bother? That was not real, my dear. Here, this is the real. You have lost your son. How stupid you are. Generally, we may make this comment. But there it is, just like even in the Mandukya Karika, Mandukya Upanishad, even this so-called Jagrada Avastha is also a long dream, big dream, we say that. We all understand the dream experience is unreal, but we are unable to conceive, we are unable to understand that even the so-called this waking state, Jagrada Avastha, Jagrada Prapancha, is also like a big dream. The moment we understand, then we start giving values. Then we will hold on to the reality, hold on to God, hold on to self. Why we are, after knowing all these things, why we are not able to hold on to? Because the Satyatva Buddhi is still lying in this body, or lying on the body and mind, or on the world. Now, how to attain that? Sadhana Chatushta is very, very important. If you remember the 4 Ds, discrimination, dispassion, discipline, and intense desire for liberation. When these 4 things are well established in our life, then when we study Vedanta, we'll be able to hold on to the truth and we'll be able to start leaving the unreality or the appearance. How much ever we study Vedanta, how much ever we hear Vedanta, but still we are not able to put into practice for us. That can be most of the challenging question for all of us. Maybe there in your mind also. Why is it? Because we have not well established in these 4 Ds, sadhana chatushtaya sampannata. The moment you establish more and more in that, then you'll be able to hold on to the truth and you'll be able to leave the appearance. Then you can be the happiest man. You may continue your job. You need not to leave your job. You need not to go to forest. You need not to go to Himalayas. You need not to become mendicant or monk. Nothing is required, but you can be happy. You can continue your business. You can continue your professions. You can continue your work. But in spite of all that, you can be happy. Things will not change, but you will be changed person. From the dull-headed fellow, you will become the intelligent person or the wise person. To know that, to make this understanding clear and to hold on to truth, shifting our focus from the appearance to the reality, or from the world to the self, we have to study all these scriptures and we have to keep on understand. May Sri Ramakrishna bless all of us so that we should hold on to the truth and we shall leave the appearance. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.